Okay, welcome back. I got the star. So now I will do another star. I kind of got on a roll in the last episode, so I didn't really pay attention if I said like that much. I probably did. If I'm not thinking about it, then I'm sure I'm doing it. So I think it's this one that I want to do. I can do this one. Third time's the charm. I guess I'll try to think of a little bit of the Last Jedi stuff. What I didn't like. It was a weird experience because I was expecting to really like it. It was the only time that I think I've ever seen a movie and been almost like shell shocked after I saw it. Like, is it possible that I didn't like this? I had such high expectations. Like, this is it. This is gonna be The Empire Strikes Back. It's gonna be a little bit darker, and it's gonna be a little bit more of kind of like a one-off story. Shoot. Wasn't what I wanted. But I remember leaving the movie and just being so disappointed and so shocked that I didn't like it. Most of the time when I see a movie, I don't really have high expectations. I go to see movies that just get good reviews and I think I'll like. So I went to see Spider-Man because I liked the first one and it got good reviews, but I wasn't really expecting to see like Citizen Kane or anything. Expectations have a lot to do with whether or not you like a movie. Like, it's almost half or even more than half. If you expect one movie and you get another movie, you're going to be disappointed. If you expect to see a movie that you're going to like and you see a movie that is a little bit different, you're going to be really disappointed. If your expectations are met, you're like, okay, yeah, that's what I expected. It's pretty good. But my expectations were way too high for The Last Jedi, and they're definitely a lot lower for the next one. I'm hoping that I'll like it as much as The Force Awakens, which I liked a lot, but I wouldn't put it over any of the original ones, really. People give Return of the Jedi a lot of flack, but it has my favorite scenes are in that movie. I mean, I like Empire. I like the way it's shot and the way, and I like this. I like the story, but I think my favorite, Empire wraps it up in such a satisfying way that it's hard not to think of it as, to remember it as one of the better ones. I don't know. there's a lot of stuff on Endor that's wacky and doesn't have to be in there, but for me it doesn't take away anything from the Luke and Vader stuff, which is my favorite stuff. All the scenes with Luke and Vader are really... And, I wasn't really a super big Star Wars fan when I was a kid. The prequels came out at like a perfect time for me. I was 6 when the first one came out. So that's like perfect. That's who the movie's made for. So I did enjoy it. I remember enjoying it. Oops. Whoops, whoops. That's not good. Oh. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. It actually, I think it hurt my enjoyment of the original ones, seeing the prequels first, which I think I did. Because obviously the effects were better, and the lightsaber fights were better. I mean, looking back on it now, you can kind of say it hasn't aged well, which it hasn't. But at the time, it was just like better. Everything looked better. The ships looked cooler. Oh, God, I have to do this thing first because I keep dying here. Everything was just seemed bigger and more real. And then when you watched the old movies, it seemed kind of silly, like the puppets and the and just the effects. I mean, the effects are amazing in the old ones, but you just, for some reason as a kid, you don't appreciate them as much. Especially if you'd seen the newer ones. So, I mean, I've always been a fan of Star Wars. I liked the games and when I was a kid, I definitely liked the games more and the newer movies. And I didn't really watch the old ones that much because the new ones were already out. But I guess when I was in high school, I got back into the older ones and I rewatched them. And the thing, I remember when I rewatched the first one for the first time in a long time, I didn't really appreciate it that much. I still thought it was like a little boring, like just paint by numbers, I guess, you know, hero's journey. That's kind of the chosen one. Luke, he's the good guy, he fights the bad guy, whatever. It's a little bit boring. The thing that really stuck with me was the Return of the Jedi and how they handle the ending, which is different than it's a lot different than I guess they could have went, a direction they could have gone. I remember really liking the idea that for Luke to be a hero, he has to... The heroic choice is to not fight the Emperor. The Emperor wants him to fight. He wants him to turn to the dark side. He wants him to kill Vader. Because he wants a younger, stronger apprentice. Vader's old. but Luke hates Vader, but he also loves him because he's his dad and he wants to save him. But he killed Obi-Wan. So just, I don't know, all that stuff is good. Every time I see that scene where Luke takes Vader's helmet off, I can't help but cry. They handled that moment so well that it's still... that moment almost sold the whole trilogy for me. I don't know if I would really be on board. I felt like I wasn't really that on board rewatching it that first time in high school. I was like, okay, these are kind of fun, but nothing special. Like, I like it, but... And the fact that I like it is kind of a big deal because they are old. Like, I was watching, I remember watching Superman a couple years ago. The old ones. I watched Superman 1 and Superman 2. Sorry. And I remember thinking the same thing. Like, these are kind of silly and they don't hold up super well. So I think if this might be... Oh, no, we're not gonna die here. We're not gonna die here. We're not gonna die. Get up. Just a big bully. I think if A New Hope and Empire had just come out and Return of the Jedi hadn't, maybe I would feel the same way about Star Wars that I do about Superman, which is just like, it's a fun superhero movie, but nothing special. I think Empire or Jedi makes it special, the way they handle the ending, and Luke's arc and Vader's arc, and oh, I got 100. Good. That's probably not totally fair. Star Wars is better than Superman. Just technically and story-wise, the first two are probably better than Superman. So that's not totally fair to say, but die. Let's do it. I don't know. You've seen Star Wars, you know why it's good. Oh, Dire Dogs this way. And if nothing else, I like that the new movies give me a reason to rewatch the old ones, because I feel like otherwise, I don't know, it takes such a commitment, 2 hours for these movies, and what are you gonna do? Just like sit on a Saturday and watch them again? You've seen them a million times. But if the new movies come out, you have a reason. You're gonna watch the old one, or watch them in order. I still watch the prequels. I have a fondness for them. I think a lot of people my age like the prequels, even though they kind of accept that they're not good. They're not, nothing about them is really good. The writing and the acting and the directing. The effects didn't age well, and but I can't help but feel happy when I see them, just because I don't know, I guess they remind me of being a kid. I guess if the new ones didn't come out, I really wouldn't watch the old ones ever. But since I'm like, I'm gonna rewatch the old ones, I might as well. Oh, wow, it's 15 minutes already? Okay, I keep saying that, but I'm rewatching the old ones, I might as well just watch the new ones too. And I've watched The Last Jedi like 3 or 4 times, probably 3. And I want to like it. No, I think 4, because I watched it twice in the theater. I went back to see it again because I was like, people are saying, you know, you got to give it a chance, see it twice. Like, I watched it once and I hated it, but the second time I went to see it, I thought it was amazing. So I thought, maybe that'll be me, but it wasn't. So I've seen it 4 times, I think. And I don't really like it. There's a version of that movie that I would like. Maybe just cut out all of the Rose and Finn stuff and cut out all of the Poe stuff. This is like 2/3 of the movie. Okay, I'll get a bunch of coins before I come back, or I'll die. One or the other. I haven't paid attention to the like thing. Hopefully I'm not doing it too much. Okay, like, I'll see you tomorrow, goodbye.